Hi and welcome to my channel. Hey, this is Juanita. Today I'm going to be treating this for fungus as well as some mosaic disease, which is also kind of like a copper ring, which is created from dirty nippers. So I might have created that problem. And I'm going to take it down as far down as I possibly can. Again, you don't really want to trim your hydrangeas before early spring, late winter. However, because I have a situation, I'm trying to take care of this before the first calendar frost date. So I'm within that range. So this is what I'm going to be doing today. So let's get started. So first off, make sure that your nippers are clean. I've already watched this because that is really how that mosaic disease gets transferred, is from using dirty nippers. It could be other causes, but a lot of it's transferred from dirty nippers. If you haven't seen my video where I talk about and dissect what the issue was with this hydrangea, which is a broomstruck Macrophylla, I will link it up here for you to go catch. I'm going to be using a copper base solution here. It's for fungus. It's a copper fungicide, and it's good for black spots, powdery mildew, downy mildew, early blight. So, and it's also good for flowers, vegetables, and fruit. So it's pretty safe. It's organic. I was going to use something that I had in my kitchen, but I could only come up with one ingredient out of the three, so I decided go ahead and do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this back, and then I'm going to spray it, and I'm doing it in the evening because the sun is down and it's going to rain tomorrow, so I want to make sure that I'm not adding to this problem, but hopefully resolving this problem. I will write down the information of this and I will insert it into this video. Okay, gonna get started. I don't see that the plant itself is affected. However, I do see that there's some black foliage here, so I'm probably going to take it down to that node right here. And this is a node right here. Wherever the leaves are forming out, that's your node. So I'll probably take it down to here. It's getting really close to going dormant. So if I take off all the leaves, it's not going to make any difference because it's going to lose its leaves anyway. But see this one? See how bad that is? See the spots right here and all this black matter here? So that's being affected. See this gray matter right here? That is the fungus right here. This is also dealing with probably a ringworm type situation here with this kind of coppery spots here. So I'm going to take off all leaves and limbs that I see infected. Then I'm going to give it a good spray down. And I'm doing it now that the sun has come down, because this way the sun's not beating on it. It's going to rain tonight, so it'll be caught before it rains and creates any more damage. So with that said, I'm going to get started. And always cut in an angle so when it rains, the water falls down and not sit on top of the stem. Again, I am not worried about the blooming cycle, because if you trim outside of early spring or late fall, you could be affecting the blooming cycle. But in this case, I'm not worried about the blooming cycle. I'm worried about getting rid of damaged goods here. my neighbor's out, so if you hear a conversation, that's what you're hearing. And you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and trim it back at this point, just to get rid of anything and everything that I could possibly see wrong with this. Like I said, it's all about saving your plant at this point. So as you can see, I basically gave it a whole trim back and just left a few little leaves. But I'd rather do that I got everything, than to lose the whole entire plant. Now, I may be affecting the blooming cycle. However, the broomstruck Macrophyllas, the endless summers, and the mopheads, they all bloom off of new wood as well as old wood. And if you're not familiar with new wood and old wood, anything that's brown like this is old wood. Anything that's coming from the ground, such as this one here, is all new wood. So next year, I'll still get blooms because of the new wood that's coming out here. Now, it might have affected the old wood, but I'd rather have it not bloom all summer than affect the whole plant. This whole hydrangea, to be honest with you, has gone through so much stress this year. And I'm just hoping to save it because, you know, I don't want to spend another $40 for a hydrangea if I can save this one. Especially because there is it's healthy overall. It's got a lot of new buds coming up. And I'll bring you again really close so you can really see what I'm talking about. And hopefully this isn't blurry. But even though this looks like new, it's still off of the old wood here. So it's still considered old wood. But see how there's some buds coming out right here? There's buds coming up over here. Now typically hydrangeas will bud out a little bit because they're trying to get that energy for next year. So all these new buds that are on the old wood may still bloom next year. And then of course any new wood that's down here, such as this one here that came out of the ground down here, there'll be a lot more down here. So I'm not worried about that. Okay, so now I'm going to dispose of all this awful stuff. I'm going to rewash my nippers. I'm going to spray them with this fungicide and clean them up for the next use of another plant. And I'm going to dispose all of this in the garbage can. So I'll put that aside. So now I'm just going to spray it. And then I'm going to just really spray this down. The whole thing. Limbs and all. I'm also going to be spraying the ground because a lot of times when you get a fungus, a lot of times it comes from the ground. There's something within the dirt itself, but because I planted replanted it in good soil, I'm not going to worry too much about that. But yeah, otherwise I would probably spray this there too. But some won't get there. And I'm just going to really cover it up. And there you have it. And again, it's not about the blooming cycle for me right now. It's all about saving the plant as a whole. And just doing the best possible thing that I can to save this plant. Because if you've been shopping for any hydrangea, they're not cheap. And I would rather save what I've got than to have to go and try to replace it. So if you have any questions, again, leave them in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys on top of my chicken coop on the next video. Bye bye for now.